Carpenter versus United States, the Supreme Court ruled that the long-term tracking of an individual's movements through a cell phone violated their privacy rights. The court specifically said that cops accessing a detailed days or weeks-long log of someone's locations, quote, provides an intimate window into a person's life, revealing not only his particular movements, but through them his familial, political, professional, religious, and sexual associations, such that these records, quote, hold for many Americans the privacies of life. So Carpenter taught us that if cops really want to go this far, they generally must obtain a warrant supported by probable cause and signed by a judge. But unfortunately, Carpenter only dealt with phone GPS data, not license plate readers. But to me, the principle carries over. I still have an expectation of privacy in my private movements, even in a public place. As Electronic Frontier Foundation explained, it's one thing to be spotted in public at a given moment, but it's another thing to be automatically tailed and recorded everywhere you drive. In fact, the Supreme Court in United States versus Jones back in 2012 covered this exact issue by saying cops can't just slap a GPS device on your car and track you all over the place without a valid search warrant. But license plate reader systems like Flock Safety, they flip the script on all of this. Officers can essentially search everyone's movement all at one time and then decide if that person's movement was interesting enough based on AI analysis. I don't know about you, but to me this is mass surveillance by default. And if and when this case ever makes it to the U.S. Supreme Court and there's an action brought against Flock Safety and these violations, I believe this is going to be the main issue. Is it an unreasonable search to record the comings and goings of an entire city's population just in case someone drives somewhere interesting? Now, in my humble opinion, it is an unreasonable search, and this should be seen as a violation of the Fourth Amendment. But unfortunately, very few courts have covered this issue. In one case in Virginia, the ACLU sued Virginia State Police for using license plate readers as a basis to basically tail and track people all over the state. Unfortunately, the Virginia State Supreme Court ruled narrowly, saying that it was not a violation of the Fourth Amendment. My biggest criticism with the American legal system is it fails to keep up with technology as it continues to expand. And even though I don't like a lot of what happens in Europe, I can tell you we can borrow from one example in Europe which would save many of our privacy rights when it comes to this technology. The European Union recognizes privacy as a fundamental right, at least in theory. Under the EU's GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation Law, it requires explicit consent for personal data collection or sharing to take place. The U.S. has no comprehensive federal law regulating surveillance cameras or data brokers. Here's the reality. Your driving data can be collected and shared with just about anybody if they're willing to pay.